So this pretty dirty little white whore, right? Who balling, um, what are you about the government? What are you about the government? Right? This pretty dirty little white British monarchy who, right? Who balling that comment whispering and nanotechnology in my ears, right? This is for she, right? Girl, I was working in the government before they manipulate me out of the government. Let me get that straight, right? And my view of the government had nothing to do with the British monarchy, right? So all this still can control me, right? If I for a period of time, right, give myself through God, right, through God, and God give me the allowance to help with the improvement of certain ministries, right? I will do that willingly, right? Because that's actually my vision, right? Because my vision is to improve my country that have nothing to do with England, right? My vision is to improve my country that have nothing to do with England, right? Repatriation aside, because I still have issue and I still all I had to pay, right? My vision apart from that is to improve the country, right? Without nothing to do with all as human beings or reptiles or whatever the fuck all is, right? To be treating me like this and doing that kind of shit, right? And saying them kind of thing to me, right? So that level of control is what we look into. So we continue the retraining exercise of police officers, right? Because these people in the British monarchy, they have been in control of you all, right? They will see themselves as owning all it, right? So that's how, but is a mental thing at the end of the day, and that is why I'm trying to get at, and that's what the retraining exercise is about, right? The retraining exercise is to know that, hey, even if you are a member of the police force, right? If you are a member of the police force, and these people want to make you think that they own or control you, the exercise is that through Allah is saying that, hey, nobody have human control over you, right? So I think all police officers have a hierarchy thing, right? You there, your boss, your superintendent, this that, go up the line, right? And it's for all of it. It's not for just police officers. It's for all of it because everybody is supposedly owned by a higher person, right? And this is what the training by Allah, right, or the retraining in police officer work, right? The retraining by Allah, right, in terms of mentals is about, right? It's to understand that it's for all of you collectively to understand the police force, right? If the police force still existed, I don't know if they are alive, dead, or what, right? But if police force still existed at TNT, right? Um, the aim is through Allah to rework the mentals, right? I had to go through a process. The aim is to improve your mental condition, to know that ain't nobody, right, who subject you to torture, right, for a period of time own you, right? So it's liberating your mind from being owned by somebody, right? Or somebody telling you that you're a dog. Because you are not a dog, I am not a dog, right? So it's liberating your mind, right, from white ownership, right? And this for all, from police officers to superintendent to everybody going up the commissioner of police, everybody going straight up the line, right? Right. So it's liberating your mind, right, from anybody who calling you a dog, right? Liberating your mind from that. And not acting like that too. As in carrying out their evil will, right? Because it's only when they carry out their evil will, right, then you become to them a dog, right? That is when they see you. Because once you take ownership by yourself, right? To take ownership by yourself, say, I am a sovereign being, and Allah give me sovereignty to be a sovereign human being. And no human body have control over me, right? From your manager straight up to the British monarchy, right? Because this is a line, a chain of command that goes to the British monarchy, right? Understand this, right? As a police officer in Trinidad and Tobago, right? The chain of command is one that goes straight up, right? So is this the daughter of the throne up there in England, right? One of the daughters, right? That is who does whisper in my ears, one of them, right? So the chain of command actually goes straight up to she. And she is probably what me know, probably what are my generation, right? So literally right. So only really bow into that, right? When only carrying out them evil deeds, right? When they carrying out them evil deeds, right? As in actually being tested, and you choosing the evil side in your capacity as a police officer doing evil things, you actually bow into that, right? So that's what this retraining exercise is about by me speaking. I know not much people, I only have one view, and that is be me on my YouTube, but my speech have power, right? And Allah tell me speak, right? God tell me speak, right? So this retraining exercise now, right, is to kind of balance your mind, right, and balance yourself, right, to get away, right? You could get out of it. You could get out of that mindset. You could get out of that situation, right? Retraining exercise to overcome this colonial control, right? And claim sovereignty for yourself, right? Claim sovereignty for yourself, right? It don't mean you have to leave your job. You could, and you could volunteer. Because remember, once you're a police officer, you're already trained in that, so that will be a mindset. So even when you retire, you will still be kind of in a police mindset, right? You'll still have that mindset. Same thing like prison officer, police officer. So they're trying to reorganize all your mind, right? If you're a retired police officer, or if you're in the service already and you're doing your job as a police officer, right? To be on the good side always, right? And I don't mean good as in a goody two shoes person, right? I know what I mean, right? I still playful. I'm not talking about goody two shoes person, right? I'm talking about the actual real life evil things, right? That is be involved in them in them organizations, right? Stop participating in the real life evil things, right? That has caused people trauma, right? Trauma that has take them long to get out of, right? Like why I will. As I said, the police raid was nothing. After I went through MK Ultra, the police raid come like nothing to me now, right? But it is traumatic and people is remember them thing for the rest of their life, right? Especially you do it and you just nothing come out of it, all them thing, right? So this is just to reorganize all your mind and thinking, right? Where them thing concerned, right? And to hey, you're not owned by anybody, right? You're not owned by anybody, right? Right. So we are going taking a look at Surah 18, right? All praise is due to Allah who has sent down upon his servant Muhammad the book and has not made therein any deviance. He has made it straight to warn a severe punishment from him and to give good tidings to the believers who do righteous deeds that they would have a good reward. Oh, that is paradise in which they will remain forever. And to warn those who say Allah has taken a son, they have no knowledge of it, nor had their fathers. Grave is the word that comes out of their mouths. They speak not except a lie. Then perhaps you would kill yourself through grief over them, O Muhammad, if they do not believe in this message and out of sorrow. Indeed, we have made that which is on earth adornment for it, that we may test them as to which of them is best indeed. And indeed, we will make that which is upon it into a barren ground, right? I want to pause here because I want to talk about something about this we group, right? Whoever it is, because I don't know who it is on earth, right? Who comprises we group, right? And it's about patting on the ego of this because if I read the Quran, right? Because all is supposed to actually be pro humanity, right? Not pro we, not pro us, right? They're supposed to be pro humanity, right? They mean fighting for humanity, fighting for humans on earth, right? That's what you're supposed to be doing, right? Fighting for humans on earth, right? So if you're fighting for we, right, it can't be in an egoistic or narcissistic self as in we is God or I is God, right? That is not a sense. So when I say fight for a prophet, it means fight as in fight the devices and fight the ego that comes with that, right? Because a prophet is supposed to be you're supposed to have a particular lifestyle, right? As a prophet, right? You're supposed to have a particular lifestyle, and part of that lifestyle is patterned on your ego, right? So it also because I realize some of the verses if people misinterpret it, right? It is song like, oh, we in control of people, right? And we have power over people, and we this and we that, right? And we had the power to do this, and we had the power. Allah is saying, no, you actually don't have the power to do anything, right? Because Allah alone have the power, right? So that's just to give that point, because I don't control anybody, right? As nobody controlling me, right? And we having a conversation here. That's all, right? Or have you thought that the companions of the cave and the inscriptions were among our signs of wonder? Mention when the youth retreated to the cave and said, "Our Lord, grant us from yourself mercy and prepare for us our fate, right guidance." So we cast a cover of sleep over their ears within our cave for a number of years. Then we awakened them that we might show which of the two factions were most precise in calculating what extent they had remained in time? It is we who relate to you, O Muhammad, their story and truth. Indeed, they were youths who believed in their Lord, and we increased them in guidance, and we bound made firm their hearts when they stood up and said, Our Lord is the Lord of the heavens and the earth. Never will we invoke besides him any deity. We would have certainly spoken in excessive transgression. These our people have taken beside him deities. Why do they not bring for worship of them clear evidence? And who is more unjust than one who invents about Allah a lie? The youth said to one another, and when you are withdrawn from them, and that which they worship other than Allah, retreat to the cave. Your Lord will spread out for you his mercy and will prepare for you from your affair facility. And had you been present, you would see the sun when it rose and gliding away from the cave on the right, and when it set, passing away from them on the left, while they were lying within an open space thereof. That was from the signs of Allah. He whom Allah guides is the rightly guided, but he whom Allah sends astray, never will you find for him a protecting guide. And you will think them awake while they were asleep, and we turned them into the right and to the left, while the dog stretched his forelegs at the entrance. And if you looked at them, you would have turned from them in flight and have been filled by them with terror. And similarly, we awakened them that they may question one another. Said the speaker from among them, How long have you remained here? They said, we have remained a day or part of a day. They said, Your Lord is most knowing of how long you remain. So send one of you with the silver coin of yours into the city, and let him look to which is the best of food, and bring you provision from it, and let him be cautious, and let no one be aware of you. Indeed, if they come to know you, they will stone you or return you to their religion, and never will you succeed then ever. And similarly, we cause them to be found that, and similarly, we cause them to be found that they who found them, he would know the promise of Allah is truth, and that the hour there is no doubt. That was when they disputed amongst themselves about their affair, and then said, Construct over them a structure, and the Lord is most knowing about them. Said to those who prevailed in the matter, we surely take for ourselves over them a masjid. Right? They the people, right? They people will say there were three, the fourth of them being their dog, and the people, right, will say there were three-fourths of them being the dog, and they will say that there were five, the six of them being their dog, guessing at the unseen, and they will say that there were seven, and the eighth of them was their dog. So Muhammad, my Lord, is most knowing of their number. No, none knows them except a few. So do not argue about them except with obvious argument, and do not inquire about them with the speculators from anyone. I never say of anything, indeed I will do that tomorrow, except when adding if Allah wills, right? Inshallah, right? We'll continue this conversation tomorrow or tonight, inshallah, right? And remember your Lord when you forget it, and say, Perhaps my Lord will guide me to what is nearer than this to right conduct. And they remained in their cave for 300 years and exceeded by 9. Say, Allah is most knowing of how long they remained. He has knowledge of the unseen aspects of the heavens and earth. How seeing is he, and how hearing. They have not besides him any protector, and he shares not his legislation with anyone. And recite, O Muhammad, what has been revealed to you of the book of your Lord. There is no change of his words, and you will never will you find any other than him a refuge. And keep yourself patient by being with those who call upon their Lord in the morning and evening, seeking his face acceptance. And let not your eyes pass beyond them, desiring adornments of the worldly life. And do not obey one whose heart we have made heedless of our remembrance, and who follow his desire, and whose affair is ever in neglect. They say the truth is from your Lord. So whoever wills, let him believe, and whoever wills, let him disbelieve. Indeed, we are prepared for the wrongdoers a fire whose walls will surround them, or it will feel as such, right? We have prepared for the wrongdoers a fire whose walls will surround them, and if they call for relief, they will be relieved with water, like murky oil, which scalds their faces. Wretched is the drink, and evil is the resting place. Indeed, those who have believed and done righteous deeds, indeed, we will not allow to be lost the reward of anyone who did well in deeds. They will have gardens of perpetual residence. Beneath them, rivers will flow. They will be adorned therein with bracelets of gold, and wear green green garments of fine silk and brocade, reclining therein and adorned couches. Excellent is the reward, and good is the rest in peace. And present to them an example of two men we granted to one of them two gardens of grapevines and bordered them with palm trees and placed between them fields of crops. Each of the two gardens produced its fruit and did not fall short thereof in anything, and we caused to gush forth within them a river. And uh, he had fruit. So he said to his companion while he was conversing with them, I'm greater than you in wealth and mightier in numbers of men. And he entered his garden while he was unjust, ever unjust to himself. He said, I do not think that this will perish ever, and I do not think the hour will occur. And if I should be brought back to my Lord, I will surely find better than this as a return. His companion said to him while he was conversing with them, have you disbelieved in he who created you from dust and then from a sperm drop, then proportioned you as a man? But as for me, he is Allah, my Lord. I do not associate anyone, right? Do not associate any human being with Allah. I mean, anyone that has a face, body, right? Whatever, right? Why did you uh, why did you, when you entered your garden, not say, what Allah willed has occurred? There's no power except in Allah. Although you see me less than you in wealth and children, it may be that my Lord will give me something better than your garden and will send upon it a disastrous penalty from the sky, and it will become a smooth, dusty ground, or its water will become sunken into earth, so you will never be able to seek it. And its fruits were encompassed by ruin, so he began to turn his hands about in dismay over what he spent on it, while it had collapsed upon his trellis, and said, oh, I wish I had not associated my Lord with anyone. And there was for him no company to aid him, right? Other than Allah, nor could he defend himself. There, the authority is completely for Allah, the truth, the best in reward and the best in outcome. And present to them the example of the life of the world and its being, like rain which is sent down from the sky, and the vegetation of the earth mingles with it, and then it becomes dry remnants scattered by the winds. And Allah is ever over all things perfect in ability. Wealth and children are but adornment of the worldly life, but enduring good deeds are better to your Lord, for the reward are better for your to your Lord for reward, and better for one's hope. Wealth and children are but adornments of the worldly life, but enduring good deeds are better to your Lord for reward, and better for one's hope. Right? So the book emphasizes, or stop there and pause there, right? The book emphasizes the importance of deeds, right, and putting wealth and children to the back burner, right? Meaning that if you don't have children already, of course, if you have children, right, if you have children, then your children is obviously your first priority along with your wife, right? Your wife, your children, your husband, right? I will always emphasize the family, right? Your family, right, is actually the most important structure or unit, right, from which all other institutions can thrive and flourish once your family structure is right, right? Um, but for those of for people who are interested in this path, right, and taking the path of this life and don't really have the desire, right, for that family life. Well, the book like I say, remember I made a statement in my earlier videos, right? The Quran is like a child, right? And the Quran is like a parent too. The Quran is like a child, and the Quran is your parent, and the Quran is your grandparent. Quran is the grandparents you never had, right? The Quran is your parents you never had, and the Quran is your child that you never had, right? So that's how you need to see this book, right? So wealth and children are but adornment of the worldly life, but the enduring good deeds are better to your Lord for reward, and better for one's hope, right? So have a blessed evening, everybody.